Back here again at I keep on saying this wrong, Champion City Comic Con in Springfield, Ohio, and I'm here with Dustin Carson. Dustin's another indie writer on the scene that has gained a lot of notoriety. Well, that's the wrong term, not notoriety.
Getting noticed.
You're getting somewhere. And anyhow, Dustin, first of all, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for interviewing.
And so far, what do you think of the first comic book convention in Springfield in 20 years?
I think it's great. I think we've had a great turnout for a first comic book event. We've had people in the panels. I'm excited about this con, not only just this year, but next year as well, because as the word gets out, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I was kind of worried because of the fact that, as mentioned before, when it comes to indie writers, people sometimes don't gravitate towards them, and you just wonder, with this being the first convention and it's on the indie scene, that you may not get the crowds that you want. But so far I've seen a steady trickle of people coming through.
Yeah, and when it's the important thing is just being here, whether you're making a ton of sales or not making a ton of sales. What's important is the people that come to this con, they'll go to Mid-Ohio and they'll come here again next year, or they'll go to Gym, or they'll go to Space. And if they see me here and they listen to me talk about the book, maybe they don't have the cash to get it right now, but when they see me again at Mid-Ohio or they see me again at Space, they purchase the book.
Well, I got to tell you, the two words that I ever hear associated with your name, Dustin Carson, is No Gods.
Okay.
So, tell us a little about your book, No Gods.
It was about a 2.5-year project. One of the things I noticed when I was just walking cons instead of exhibiting.
Here, grab one of those. Let me see if I can show the camera.
One of the things I noticed is you get a lot of number ones and not so many number twos, and all of a sudden you can't even hope to find a number 3. And that was one of the things that kind of frustrated me when I would purchase a book. I would get the first issue. I'd be, oh great, this is a great book. When's the next issue coming out? And con independent guys, it's a much slower process generally, and they would say, well, we're hoping to have it out by this time next year. And I was like, oh wow, okay, clear to next year. There's a pretty good chance I'm not going to remember them, or I'm going to forget about it. I would have to literally see them at the con and think, oh, okay, I remember that book. I'm going to go ahead and go buy the second issue. So I wanted to eliminate that. I wanted to have complete story, 6 issues, ready to go. If they buy the first one and are walking around the con and stop and read it, decide they like it, they can come get it right then and there, or they can email me, here's number 2. It's ready to go. So 2.5 years, all 6 books put together, and I started exhibiting about a year ago.
So if you could do a summary on No Gods, how would you describe it to the viewers out there?
The one-sentence pitch: 14-year-old boy thinks he's a clone of Jesus Christ sent to destroy all superheroes.
Filmed at 11.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I you know what? I guess that's something about.
There we go. Well, part of the whole process, and even when you start to write something, is to truly plot your book, you should do that. Take that, when you're on TV and you hit the guide of something and you read that one sentence information of whatever show it is, you need to break your entire story down into one sentence. And if you can do that, that one sentence is a map for the entire book. So
like a catchphrase.
And you just stick to that sentence. And if you keep your plot on that sentence, then everything should remain logic and congruent. And so, if you're thinking about writing a book, put it into one sentence.
Well, you just don't hear that advice given out very often. All right. Well, very good. Then can you tell us a little bit about some works that you come out with in the future, or anything that you're currently working on?
Sure, absolutely. I have an anthology that'll be out in April of, it's a horror anthology, my short stories, various artists. I'm going to do my first ever full color book, so I'm excited about that. Something I'm noticing through my 1 year of exhibiting is I need something for everyone. The more variety I can have on the table, the better chance of people checking out my stuff. So I'm doing a straight horror anthology, no superheroes or anything like that. And then I have another book with a talented artist named Kevin Hicks called Trio, and it's best described right now as Harry Potter meets the New Mutants, and that they're young adults, and it's geared towards all audiences. And I've always been curious how in the superhero books, when Spider-Man got his powers, once he discovered them, suddenly he was just able to fight crime. It's like
there's no learning curve.
Yeah, there's no learning curve, and you really don't see that in a lot of books. So I wanted to do a book about the learning curve,
The trials and errors of getting superpowers.
Exactly. I have one character who he's just typical fire generation, but they never go into what happened when he was 2 years old. Through his temper tantrum, his fire powers kicked in and he killed his parents, and he's been orphaned. You don't see that side in the comic books, the disadvantages superpowers can have. So that's one of the characters in the book, that he's an orphan, and that's why his powers kicked in when he was 2. He couldn't control them. He ignited and burnt and killed both of his parents. So I really wanted to take a look at the disadvantages of having powers other than getting them and being geared to fight crime, is the basic kind of theme of the book.
All right, very good. Well, Dustin, appreciate the few minutes taking to talk to us, sir.
Appreciate you talking to me. Thank you.
And like I said, Dustin Carson, the book's No Gods. Make sure you look for it on your indie scenes and all the conventions when you come out there and see it. Thanks a lot. All right, as we continue our coverage of the Champion City Comic-Con in Springfield, Ohio, we are with Studio Akumakaze. Wait a minute. Akumakaze. I keep on saying Akumakaze, and it sounds like the bad thing in the war when they fly their planes. And I have with us at the table Chris Hoskins, artist, Jamal Ard, who's a writer, and Chris Martin, also another artist. And I'll start with you, Chris. So first convention in Springfield in 20 years. What are your first thoughts so far? You've been here today.
I like it very much. It has a very cozy atmosphere. I actually prefer the smaller conventions because it's more intimate and just gives more chance to talk to other people and to mingle and to get a feel for the area.
You guys go around the different conventions. Do you see the fan base growing more?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every con we come to, we meet new people, new artists, writers, just creative individuals. And whether they're a fan or not, they're showing up at cons and they remember.
Now you guys are located where?
Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. And roughly how many do you have in your studio?
That would be 5 solid members, and then we've got some other people that we work with, collaborate with, and basically rely on. Sorry. It's all right.
Now, Chris, I know it's the first time I met a writer from your studios. Do you guys, treat them all right? You guys get them out in the open a little bit, or you guys keep them in a closet somewhere?
My original plan was to keep them locked up somewhere and just feed them occasionally, but the other guys voted to have them come out every once in a while, so that's how we do it. No.
I was in agreement with the closet.
So, real quickly then, can you guys tell us about any work that's coming up in the near future for you guys for Studio Akumakaze?
Well, I'm working right now on Requiem for Mortality with BJ. And then we've got a couple more anthology books coming out. I couldn't exactly tell you when, but keep an eye out. And then
Chris? Let's see, going down the mental list here, Scrap 3, we've got the thumbnails in the works. I'm doing a sequel to Eradication, or Operation Eradication. I got the thumbnails going on that. Actually, I'm working with Jamal here on an upcoming short story called Full Metal Bikini, and got the thumbnails working on that as well. So I got a lot of thumbs out, and hopefully soon I'll be able to work on some finished pencils and start cranking some stuff out. But that's in the short term.
And Jamal, anything else besides what he just said?
I guess, like you said, I'm writing Full Metal Bikini for Chris. I'm eventually going to be writing Robot School for Chris Hoskins. and I myself am writing, and I'm writing a little anthology title, which is going to be stuff which is going to be everything I've written myself, and it's called Spotlight, and I'm going to be trying to shop the stories around different artists to see if I can't get that off the ground.
All right, very good. Well, listen, gentlemen, appreciate you guys doing the interview, and continue to enjoy the con, and I hope to be looking to see more of your works coming out soon at the different conventions. Thanks a lot.